Hi everybody, welcome to Cats on Film Pod. I'm your host, Ray Island, here with my co-host, Skipper. Thanks for joining us every Tuesday as we review cats and film. There will be spoilers. Today, we're reviewing Roald Dahl's The Witches. The remake just came out last month, right before we released our review of the 1990 version of The Witches. If any of you lovely listeners missed it, just go back 2 weeks in our archive. I like seeing different people's perspectives on a classic character. If they're going to do a remake, I prefer a fresh take on the Grand High Witch. The men behind this adaptation are great filmmakers, Alfonso Cuarón, Guillermo del Toro, Robert Zemeckis, and the second screenwriter is Kenya Barris, creator of Blackish and its spin-offs. So there's 2 Mexican men and 1 black man working with old Hollywood white guy Zemeckis. They definitely give a different take compared to the all-white British production from 30 years ago. Not only is this version set in the US rather than the UK, but the lead characters are black and the screenwriters took the opportunity to comment on race relations in 1960s Alabama. Yes, let's recap. Hades is a black short-hair, entirely CGI cat who lives on and around the Grand High Witch, played by Anne Hathaway. It's fun to see him licking his chops when she mentions mice in the Grand Orleans Imperial Hotel. I think he's the only cat in the whole movie. The Alabama witch has a snake. Oh, the Irish witch has a big gold cat necklace, but we don't see her familiar. So we've got another black cat with an evil witch. Exactly, why do they want to keep up such a harmful precedent? Yeah. Anyways, the fancy Gulf Coast hotel they're staying at has a strict no pets policy, but the Grand High Witch just talks right past the hotel manager and keeps Hades on her, literally perched on her arm. Unfortunately, the kitty gets relegated to their hotel room, a suite, really. They've got a big balcony with a view of the sunny beach, a nice place to relax so long as you're free to move about. Yeah, there is major animosity between the Grand High Witch and Hades. When she's talking to the hotel manager about caging Hades, and he contradicts her by hopping into that kitty carrier.
Madam, I procured this for you today. I thought you might like it. It's a kitty carrier. And I thought you could put your feline friend in there and you could transport him all over the hotel, including the dining room. Thought you might like that.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Cat Cage Procurer. I will never, ever allow my precious puss to be...
Well, look at that. He likes it in there.
Ooh, she is angry. She's just staring daggers at Hades until the hotel manager leaves. Then she lets that bottled-up fury out and locks up Hades.
Well, my precious, since you enjoy being in that cage so much, you can stay in it, traitor!
Yow, she really is as evil as Grandma says. I thought since Hades is her familiar, they would get along. I mean, she can seemingly read his thoughts when he comes back from staring at the hero boy and his grandma in their fancy bed. Oh, wow, yeah. If she can hear his thoughts, she may be hearing that he doesn't entirely like her, which would not improve their relationship. Oh, definitely not. I do not want to read other people's minds. I'd prefer being able to move stuff with my mind like Dark Phoenix. How about you, Skipper? What superpower would you like to have? I have to agree, you are flawless exactly as you are. Okay, back to Hades, whom the hero boy turned mouse notices is trapped in that kitty carrier on the balcony.
Hey, Grandma, what about him?
I'll call the manager and let him out once we're out of here.
Such a nice change of pace. All too often, kitties are forgotten when the action's going down, but Hades actually plays a role in resolving the plot by taking out the Grand High Witch after she's turned into a rodent.
Stay back, you stupid precious! No, Hades! Hades, precious! Remember who feeds you! No, don't think about food!
In Dahl's book, the mouse boy and his granny make plans to use cats on witches they've turned into rodents, but none of that is explicitly mentioned in the 1990 movie. Yeah, Hades definitely enjoys attacking the witch rat. She must have been a really bad cat mom. like when she's tending the bandages on her injured claw hands and whimpering, instead of snuggling up to her and purring the way a good kitty, such as yourself, does when their person is in pain? Yeah. Well, Hades just starts bathing himself and ignoring the Grand High Witch's pain. Hopefully he has a better life once she's out of the picture. Yes, no worries about animal cruelty on the set since the featured animals are fully CGI. There are some farm critters in Granny's flashback that look like real live animals, but they aren't really performing, just hanging out. Yep, getting paid to be themselves. And as for the mice and snakes in Hades, no live creatures get thrown about or locked up. And the CGI makes it okay for Hades to sit out in the rain at night staring at the protagonists through their hotel room window, which just coincidentally happens to be directly above the Grand High Witch's suite. Hades' kitty movements and sounds are pretty realistic, except for him having supernaturally better dexterity than the average cat. You do have great paw skills, Skipper, but a CGI character does parkour moves better than anybody. It is a fictional fantasy movie after all. What's your rating of feline representation in Roald Dahl's The Witches? 3 out of 4 paws for the update to The Witches. There's still a colorist association of black cats with evil witches. However, no live cat was harmed in the production. Plus, Hades gets to have a personality and some bearing on the plot. Thank you for listening to Cats on Film Pod. Know anybody who likes spooky stories for kids? Remember to share this podcast with them. Cats on Film Pod is voiced and produced by Ray Island, with music by The Dose Man and additional sounds from freesound.org. Get access to exclusive bonus content and support Skipper and Ray at pod.fan/catsonfilmpod. Cats on Film Pod.